but I don't have them with me. That's okay. You can just leave them. I'm not the speaker in our family. That's Katie. So bear with me. I know that the maid of honor speech is normally about her and the bride, but since I'm also the best person and I take my job very seriously, I hope you don't mind. It's going to be about the book. So when I was 3 years old, I used to pray every night asking God for a little brother. And I remember one night telling my mom while she was tucking me in, I keep asking God for a little brother and he just keeps saying no. And she told me that God had a plan, that there was a reason for that, and now I see that Katie was probably more than enough. And our family can't handle any more personality. Katie, being a sister means that you're the built-in playmate, and Katie might talk incessantly, including talking for me, and sing all the time, force me to do choreographed dances with her, and all of that, and she drove me a little bit crazy, but she was also my best friend, my biggest cheerleader. There was a whole long list, but you know all of them. We'll just leave it at that. You're my person. So when Chris came along, I wasn't a big fan. I probably wasn't very nice to him. But that's because I'd never had to share my sister before, and I didn't like it. But Chris never gave me a hard time for that. He always accepted that. And that first summer they were together, after their senior year, they worked on a puzzle most nights. Sometimes I came and helped, and sometimes I would just come sit and watch, and Chris was never upset that I was stealing their time together or in the way. He just always let me be. He always made the effort to include me in their activities, which meant I third-wheeled a lot of their dates. So it was on one of those nights that we went to see Dear John, and as we sat in the second movie theater that we went to, Chris sat in the middle and comforted two girls that were crying on his shoulder, which no teenage boy wants to do. And that was when I knew why Katie picked him, and that he was a part of us, and he belonged with us. So last year, when Katie moved to Disney, I was following in her footsteps like I always do, going to Georgia, and I was really homesick. So Chris came up with me the first weekend that I was there and showed me around all the non-football parts of campus. Chris used to come to Athens for me to feed me a dinner off of the meal plan, make sure that I was doing okay. He drove in before I was even awake on Saturday mornings to help me set up our tailgate. And last spring, when my family was at Disney World without me and I was home alone, Chris came over and made dinner with me so that I didn't have to eat alone. Nobody ever asked him to do those things, but he just did. And he worked really hard to fill in Katie's really large footsteps, and he did it wonderfully. So I'm really glad now that God didn't give me a little brother, because if I could choose now, I would choose Chris for my brother. And I love you both so much. Congratulations. I love you too. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. No, you can't have this one.